Dark Voyager is a mysterious and very important character in the Fortnite storyline. There are some questions more than answers. What is his true purpose? What reality did he came from? And why does he want to get the 0 point shards to build the 0 point? And most of all, why did he join the last reality and we don't even know about this throughout the years? This is what I'm going to be explaining right now about Dark Voyager's origins and how he came to be, or what his true intentions of destroying realities, according to Jones, and his intentions of rebuilding the 0 point, not just for world peace, but for something even darker that nobody else in the Fortnite community ever knows about Dark Voyager in the first place, as he came to be since Chapter 1 Season 3 as a Battle Pass skin. And this is what he originally looked like. And this is what he looked like right now when he joined the last reality. In the very beginning, Dark Voyager was just a literal dude in a spacesuit, but nobody knows what Dark Voyager actually looks like, even though that in earlier models, especially in the earlier sketches of Dark Voyager, he looks like some type of friendly alien, and he probably belongs to a similar alien species dating back to the days of the last reality, but it is currently into debate. Despite that, Dark Voyager in his early days has the Jonesy model skin. But in an unknown update, Epic Games decided to remove the Jonesy model skin to Dark Voyager because of an unknown purpose, and it hasn't been told for the past couple years, ever since Dark Voyager has gotten that update, and there's no by side if you try to look at the original. If you have the original Dark Voyager skin, you would know that there's nobody in there. There's no Jonesy, nothing. It's just blank. That's not until Season X when we got his snapshot, the Eternal Voyager, who belongs to the same species as Dark Voyager, but Eternal Voyager reveals a much more darker purpose. The reason why Eternal Voyager reveals to have a darker purpose is this. He belongs to like a species of certain type of, how do you call this, skull floating beings, which was revealed as in Season X, where the Eternal Voyager wants to quote-unquote voyage all the realities. For most of all, Eternal Voyager is currently deceased. Like, he tried to go into the 0 point. If you read the Batman comics, you can already tell that Eternal Voyager and most of the loopers tried to go into the 0 point, and Eternal Voyager made his dreams of going through, and as a result he was cut into several bits and died. But Dark Voyager is probably still alive out there, possibly in the Chapter 2 island, because he is also assumed to be a regular looper, just like any other looper, unlike his counterpart Eternal Voyager, who was much more powerful than him at the time. Ultimately, Dark Voyager's life would change somewhere around either those chapters and seasons, Chapter 2 Season 7, Chapter 2 Season 8, and most of all, and I assure I could be right, Chapter 3 Season 4. But the reason why I brought up Chapter 3 Season 4 was during the days of the Chrome. Even though Dark Voyager as of now is the current Herald of the Nothing, the other Herald of the Nothing, who basically looks like this flower-like woman or something like that, decided to chrome everybody. She decides to take over the island because the Cube Queen died. She wants to take revenge. She decides to chrome the Chapter 3 island. Well, the Chapter 2 island on the other side was already corrupted by cubes. And mind you, what Chrome does to people, especially according to Amy, is that it can reshape people's existence anew. Which, according to Amy, if you played the Chapter 4 quests and you approach to this cube monster thing, she mentions that it seems the 7 are different. They're all different now. Their existence have been reshaped anew and something like that. Very creepy. It looks like the scientist has changed. He must have been a new member of the last reality, just like Dark Voyager, joining in with the Visitor, the Origin, the Foundation, et al. It sculpts his existence anew, which applies that Chrome can actually do anything, whatever it wants to, since it's a living metal. It's like a living cell organism that does cytokinesis, and it's a living metal that can actually cause people to be reshaped. It can actually bind into people's cells, and not only that, it makes your mental capacity much worse and more further as you become more evil, and not only that, you'll become a completely different person or being or whatever you may call it. Cubes also do the same thing, but in a much more different scenario. They turn you into like a dark themed person, as we saw in the Fortnite Dark series. But there are 3 different ways that Dark Voyager could have been the new member of the Last Reality in the first place. Number 1, he might have been adopted by, the mothership or the abductors. This was during the Alien season, where at that time in Chapter 2, Season 7, the mothership approaches thanks to Glib Master Rass's powers of the Corruption Cube, thanks to the Spire, and it brought the Last Reality in along with the mothership, which houses a bunch of purple Corruption Cubes and 1 golden cube. And as a result, the mothership must have adopted Dark Voyager, which I'm not sure about this because Dark Voyager hasn't appeared in most storylines that much in the very beginning once again, but it's only allegedly that Dark Voyager must have taken by the Last Reality by the motherships, since it has the ability to adopt as much people as they can and perform experiments, and not only that, manipulate them to join the Last Reality in any certain capacity at will. Number 2, the cubes. And we already learned this because in Chapter 2, Season 8, Cubed, in which after the mothership was destroyed during Operation Skyfire, lots of cubes started falling off of the now destroyed mothership, and as a result, the cubes are now starting to take over the Chapter 2 island. And this caused a lot of inhabitants of Reality Zero to be corrupted by the cubes, since cubes has the powers to actually make a person a different person, especially of its Dark series. We've seen this with Jonesy, Ramirez, and all other characters throughout Chapter 1, and we see this again in Chapter 2. This time, there's another pocket of realities called the Sideways, and as a result, it traps the Sideways actually traps people in there and forces you to fight certain cube monsters as they spawn multiple times, and it could be that Dark Voyager must have been trapped in the Sideways at some point of unknown time, and he probably lost, and he's probably binded to the cubes thanks to this cube guy, as this is the cube assassin, and this cube assassin person was able to bind through the Sideways and to manipulate people to join them to the Last Reality, as well as corrupting them with its corruption cube, since the cube assassin is a corruption cube itself. And also during the end event, we saw a bunch of golden cubes. Thanks to the Cube Queen, she was able to spawn the whole entire Last Reality to finish the job, especially with more adopters, golden motherships, and also the biggest part, the Cube's Cradle. This is where Dark Voyager's ship comes from, via Cube's Cradle. And yes, it is actually the literal Cube's Cradle, as you see right here in this picture. And it could be that Dark Voyager must have been one of the people who were able to fight back in Guava Fort, right at north at Pleasant Park, during the battle against the Last Reality. It could be that Dark Voyager must have been adopted along the way while still fighting the Last Reality. And as a result, he must have been taken and is now being corrupted by the cubes, by the Nothing, and possibly the Herald, since she wants to get revenge after what happened to the Cube Queen, Her Majesty. And the third and final scenario, which I'm going to be mentioning right now, which might be supporting my claim. I'm not sure if that would be true, but that could support my claim as usual. The third and most important part of what happened to Dark Voyager was the Chrome. Chrome is very powerful, and you cannot resist it. Like I mentioned before, a living metal. And it could be that around the time when the Herald got here, in the very beginning of Chapter 3, Season 3, we saw the Order, the Foundation, and the snapshot Imagine go missing. And then after that, in the trailer for Chapter 3, Season 4, Paradise, we saw that more of the 7 members went missing as well. The Origin, formerly the Cube King, the Scientist, and the Visitor, they all went missing. And what happened after that? They were taken by the Last Reality via Cube's Cradle to be corrupted and reshaped by its existence. And once allegedly that Dark Voyager was taken by the Chrome, thanks to the Herald, possibly between at the very beginning up until around Fracture, I assume, since most of the loopers living in Reality Zero are the victims of this whole tragic Chrome incident, where the Herald turns into a giant, like, Chrome woman. She then uses her hand towards the reality tree. It takes all the loopers with it. I'm not sure if Dark Voyager was actually one of the fighters during the Fracture event, but he could have been chromed along with the other loopers, and they were all taken with the Herald. She solidifies herself, petrifies herself along with the reality tree, and then Reality Zero came to an end as it explodes in contact with the 0 point now exposed to the Last Reality, as the mothership now begins its one final chance of adopting the 0 point before the 0 point bites back. although this scene never make it to the actual live event. But still, that's where Dark Voyager's life came to a massive change, and as he was taken by the last reality, he was manipulated, and he was successfully have his existence reshaped via, according to Amy, as it comes to the 7 being reshaped, Dark Voyager as well. As of Chapter 7, Season 1, we now see Dark Voyager in a very brand new form, with a golden cube floating above, although still looks similar to his original form, but his existence has been reshaped anew. And now he is going over destroying realities throughout the last couple of chapters, as it's still unseen. But it's possible that after Chapter 3 Season 4, he was able to have a lot of training and was connected to the Nothing, similar to what happened to Bytes during the Bytes quest when he was binded by the Nothing through manipulation, and he's now became a Chrome human. He used to be normal, now he has turned into the Chrome, and can Chrome whatever he wants towards people, which got more people to join the last reality thanks to Bytes. And it could be in some unknown time that I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it could be that Dark Voyager must have fought Bytes at some point, and he lost, and he was chromed, and got corrupted by Bytes, and became a member from there. Either ways can actually make some great evidence that Dark Voyager, in these instances, been corrupted by the last reality in certain ways. It could either be abduction, it could either be Chrome, and it could be the cubes. But still, he was bonded by the last reality between Chapter 2 or Chapter 3 in those later times. And now he's turned into a member with a golden cube floating around his head. And his skull is now cubed as well. Reshaped his existence into something new. And is now going over to terrorize and destroy several realities in which, according to Jones, he has like the emptiness of realities in him. Which means that just like any other member of the last reality, which I can name like the Storm Kings, the Cube Queen, the Herald, the Chimeras, all the last reality characters that you can name up, including the Nothing, they have destroyed multiple realities and has the empty realities in their heads. Which at this point, Dark Voyager is one of those people that used to be neutral, and now he is binded to now destroy different realities in the name of the 0 Point. As a result, to rebuild the 0 Point, he has to get through his way and his plans. Not Geno, not Dr. Sloan, not the Foundation, not the rest of the 7, but only by Dark Voyager and his allies, the last reality. And that could be the only way for a very big future, or for the last reality to not only manipulate but also take over at the same time. Oh my gosh, these two people are not even looking. By the way guys, I'm explaining Dark Voyager so much and he is cracked in Fortnite right now. And I want to explain what is the future for Dark Voyager and why does he want to rebuild the 0 Point so bad. There could be a reason why Dark Voyager wants to rebuild the 0 Point so bad. Is it to make everybody happy? Is it to make Jones and Hope very hopeful that the 0 Point's being rebuilt by a member of the last reality? Well, I doubt that. But what's the real reason though? To take over. To literally deceive people. To literally trick people. We saw what was happening with the cubes. We saw what was happening with the mothership. We saw what was happening with the Chrome. And we see what was happening during the days when, in Mega City, we see the Unseen, a criminal organization that binds with the last reality to foil the Peace Syndicate's plans. And as a result, Dark Voyager loves to play tricks. He's not dumb when it comes to playing tricks towards people. He really wants to do this because at first he wants to make everybody happy because people wanted the 0 Point to come back. But what will happen the second that he rebuilds the 0 Point altogether by around Chapter 7 Season 2 and beyond? Well, Dark Voyager is not only just gonna destroy all of realities, like, he's not gonna do that. But what does that mean though? If he doesn't want to destroy the Omniverse, what else could the Dark Voyager do? Well, in my mind, Dark Voyager wants to simply take over and put towards eternal suffering towards all realities. Meaning he wants to take over the 0 Point and transform it into something new, like a completely different alternate version of the 0 Point that looks way similar to how we saw the 0 Point during the days of Collision when it was an evil red. This was the 0 Point in its unstable form. It's unclear what would the 0 Point look like if the last reality was able to occupy and take over it. but it could mean that the 0 point must have been binded with the cube, and it could be because similar to what happened with the red cube as it's corrupting the 0 point. Oh my gosh, did I just run this guy over? But similar to what was happening with the 0 point back in Fortnite Reality UN OG, where the red cube has corrupted the 0 point by causing its realities to bind it itself. What happened to that is that these realities you see over there are fully corrupted and are formally binded to the red cube, similar to what will happen to this 0 point later in the next season. It could be possible that the 0 point might be corrupted by the golden cubes at some point, since Dark Voyager once again is binded by the golden cubes, but also has huge purposes on taking over in the first place. Once again, not to install in world peace, but also control against all the inhabitants of the Omniverse. And speaking of Reality UN 0 OG, what's happening over there is Lynx, who has also joined the last reality too. That's very weird. Lynx, who used to be just this regular character, now has joined the last reality. Can't you believe it? Now binded with the cubes as well, along with Dark Voyager, now foiling Reality UN 0 OG to the point that that wants to be taken over. That reality wants to be binded with the cubes again, this time under the control of the Dark Voyager. As I go here right now, you can see the 0 point shard has stopped spinning and it's still. But does it mean that Dark Voyager is gone? No. That means that Dark Voyager is still going to come back, this time with another 0 point shard, where he's going to be placing that with the Reality 783 shard right over here. Then, in the coming weeks to months, he's going to bring more shards and let them come together and make sure all that 0 point energy is thrown with these panels. And around Chapter 7 Season 2 or later on, if I'm wrong, the whole 0 point would be rebuilt at some point, and Dark Voyager will have full control of the 0 point. At first, he has full control of Eneloop Labs, he changed it to Leapful Labs, he put Order in a prison cell, he probably put Geno. If he gets in contact with Geno and he tries to fight him around Chapter 7 Season 2, Geno would also join with the Order. And I'm going to show you this right now. This is a leaked skin of what would the Order look like if she joins the last reality. Which I would be right, because the Order is soon going to be corrupted by Dark Voyager sometime around Chapter 7 Season 1, or probably in next season, and she's going to be transforming into a member of the last reality, just like the other members of the Seven, the Scientist, the Visitor, the Origin, the Snapshot Imagine, the Foundation, and this can end very, very horribly. And this would be a huge change to the Fortnite storyline. There it is. The stick. Holy cow. I finally got the stick. I think I'll try out what the YouTuber did. He did this on the tonal, so I might try it on the tonal this time since there's a close by tonal around here. And I want to see everybody fight underneath me. But I need to find the cheesy poops too. You know what? Let's activate the stick. Underneath the tunnel. There we go. There it is, the cheesy poofs. Yes! Now all we have to do is wait. Alright. We have 1 minute until the last triangle closes. Slowly closing in. Put the stick in. Everybody is still fighting. Oh my gosh. Even with their bosses. Alright. 15 seconds. Number 4. Zip. 3. Oh gosh. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, we're at the top 2. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, Bill, you can do this for me. There we go. Give me some extras. Oh my gosh, an extra! Oh, thank God. I knew it was gonna be an extra. I knew there was gonna be an extra. What did I say? What did I say? The tunnel method always works. I need to put a link in this video so that you could go check it out. of what I just learned. Holy cow. Guys, let me tell you something. What is your thoughts on what's going to be happening in Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 2 or later on? Let me know right now. And as you're watching the 0 point shard still staying there and waiting for Dark Voyager's ship to come back, thank you for watching. I'll give you guys more updates.